Fandoms. What happened to the fandoms? What happened to the community? Where's the fucking decorum? Hi, my name is Kitawita, and I like to draw and talk about stuff sometimes. So sit back, relax, just give me a minute or two to talk about. Or don't, because I know that attention span is shot and that brain is smooth as glass.
Am I the asshole for killing my daughter's dog because she ate the last piece of cheesecake?
But who knows, maybe you'll surprise yourself today. Let's get into it, shall we? What exactly is a fandom? The state or condition of being a fan of someone or something. The fans of a particular person, team, fictional series, etc., regarded collectively as a community or a subculture. If it exists, there's a fandom for it. Literally. Even the most niche things and places have someone who fascinates themselves with it. Two people can be a fandom, technically speaking. Fandoms have existed since the dawn of time and even have the ability to gather people together regardless of who they are. At its best, it can be a great place to build relationships and bring medias back from the dead. But that's at its best. And most fandoms are at their worst. Fandoms have it all. You'll find bullying, racism, sexism, assault, doxing, grooming, racism, discords, questionable fan art, questionable relationships, racism. The list goes on, to be honest.
9/11 was bad.
I agree with that.
Now, granted, a lot of people would say these things are not the norm in fandoms and that you have to actively search for these things in order to see them. And maybe a couple years ago, this might have been true. But in recent years, that's simply not it. Fandoms barely make it a week or even a couple hours before some type of weird shit happens or the fandom starts to argue internally. Some fandoms are actually best known for how toxic and unforgiving they are, making it almost impossible for any of the new fans to actually introduce themselves or become comfortable. Rather than being an active community, they'd rather be known as some secret club/cult. They're stuck in their ways and only want people who dick ride them to oblivion to join. And others, though welcoming, can also be toxic and unruly. Everything will seem alright until you draw a piece of fan art with the wrong color palette, or post a new headcanon that you and your friends came up with. Complete innocence. Now, you have people in your DMs telling you to go swim with a toaster. Don't get me wrong, you can join a fandom and have a decent time on the internet, but there's always going to be drama, whether you see it or not. Me personally, I choose not to engage with the fandoms the way that I used to, and that's coming from someone whose first fandom was Sonic the Hedgehog during what they consider the Dark Ages, 2009 to 2014 or so. Child me was introduced to shit I had no business seeing. Pretty similar to people in the My Little Pony fandom who also been exposed to things they really had no business seeing, even though their media was for children. And that was back then when I was a younger kid and I really had no concept of fandoms at that time. But when I finally got older and was able to understand the internet a little bit more, I was really into Mystic Messenger back in the day. I mean, I was running multiple accounts, like the Navy in that bitch. But in recent years, I have refused to join any other fandoms regardless of whether or not I enjoy the media. The fandom that ultimately helped make this decision for me was none other than... And I had hoped that maybe, just maybe, because the manga is over, that the fandom would finally find some form of peace. But I know I'm wrong. I don't even have to look. I know I'm wrong.
Euphoria, shut the fuck up. I know that was you. I ain't even gotta look. I should send your ass back to Crenshaw Pete with his hot ass coat hangers, bitch. Would you like that?
But My Hero Academia isn't the only fandom that I tread lightly. Arcane, Invincible, Dandadan, JJK, Chainsaw Man, etc. I'll view the media and 9 times out of 10, I'll go ahead and read the source material just to have it under my belt. But other than that, I choose not to engage. I just find it to be so much more peaceful to take a step back and pick and choose what I participate in. And that's another great part about fandoms. You don't have to join them. And if you do, you can block, scroll away, leave that shit alone. Because ultimately, you're gonna run across parts of the fandom that disgust you or make you uncomfortable. And if that happens, which it will, my advice is just scroll away, block. And if it comes down to it, start reporting people. There's definitely a deeper discussion that can be had about fandoms and the things that occur in them. But at the end of the day, you should be able to have fun and protect your peace regardless of what's going on around you. But I can also understand someone who does want to engage in fandoms because, like I said, it's a community at the end of the day. And sometimes people are lonely and want to be able to express themselves in the different medias that they enjoy with other like-minded people. You really can find really awesome people to talk to and roleplay with, cosplay with, hang out with, and really make some genuine connections and friends with people you never thought you could before. But also, this is the internet. There are a lot of weird people on the internet. So please proceed with caution. Don't share so much information with so many people so fast. Just be careful at the end of the day. That's all I really have to say. And for making it all the way to the end of this very short video, here you go.
Lay your head down so I can work it, oh,
But seriously, if you made it towards the end of this video, I really do appreciate it. I hope you take a time to consider subscribing or even leaving a comment. And I hope to see you in the next one, because honestly, this is really all I do, draw and yap. So if you're into that, I'm your girl, Kitawita, signing off. Bye.